right, so folks, listen, I want to thank you for joining me this morning for morning coffee. I'm Ivan Sutton, of course, and I love to see all these amazing, happy, smiling faces. Every face is smiling. That's nice, right? First, before we go, today we have Jacqy Stewart, and Jacqy is going to be talking about the power of intention today. So you're in for a treat. I'm so glad that she's taken this call today. So, but before that, we're just going to go through the announcements for the week. Of course, today we have me morning coffee, and then right afterwards we have our discussion lounge. You know, I realized the last time that we did a presentation, after the presentation, everything kind of went to just general conversation, and then that took over. You know, I think we could have gone until like 2:00. So today is just going to be open discussion from 10:30 until noon. Then, of course, tomorrow we have the Slim Down Power Hour. Okay, this is the Women's Slim Down Power Hour with Stephanie Hutchins-White. She does that in the morning, and that's at 9:30 tomorrow morning. And then at 4:30 p.m., Catherine, this is for you. This is the blended AED CPR training. Do you want to just give us a little snippet of that?
Yeah, so here in Hamilton, we'll be doing the in-class portion of the first aid. So there's different levels. And here in Ontario, you have to have your skills actually visually seen and tested. And so anybody who's done the online portion can come into the classroom. We do it once a month, and we try and change it between Tuesdays and Fridays whenever Ivan leaves that room empty for me. And so that we can get individuals not only for work, but just for life, get them trained in first aid and CPR and defibrillation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And folks, just so that you know, if you're a member, when you create an event, the event shows up in the calendar on our homepage. And if it shows up in the calendar on the homepage, then I mention it on the calls. And of course, it's also recorded in our weekly minute so that everybody knows what's going on. So just so that you know, don't forget that if you have an event, don't struggle on your own. Post it in this great city, and that way we go ahead and we promote it for you as well. All right.
They even put it on social media. I was very pleasantly surprised to see
Were you surprised? That's right. Yes. For your event. That's right. Of course. Yeah. It's just automatic. As soon as you put it in the calendar, we go ahead like Santa's elves, and we just kind of start making things happen for you. So that's awesome. Thanks. All right. Then Wednesday, we have the Wise Gals Club with Stephanie Hutchins-White. That's at 9:00. And then, of course, Yuri Nesbitt has the real estate investing call. You know, it's always deep. I'm telling you, if you have any interest in real estate or real estate investing, you definitely have to join us on Wednesday morning at 9:30 to 10:30 with Yuri. What's the topic this week, Yuri?
Whichever you want it to be, but I was going to go over the updates on a market and again, go into a real life scenario, pick a property and analyze one as well.
That's awesome. And one of the things I really loved about last week's is that, you know, whatever the question that you have, you know, write it down between now and Wednesday, write down those questions, bring them with you. And then Yuri's very, very knowledgeable. And it's just nice to get somebody that just answers it in language that I can understand, right? So, so that's real important. All right, that's Wednesday. Then Thursday, we have Tech Talk with Catherine Davies. Tech Talk. Okay, Catherine, what's up?
Actually, we're very fortunate to have Lindsay Fraser doing our top 10 Christmas tech gifts.
Right? Don't want to miss that one.
Yeah,
I might throw in some stocking stuffers as well.
Ooh,
yeah.
Stop it.
I must admit, she's been giving me some little hints, and it's like, how could you not put that on the list? She says, because it didn't make the top 10. She says, we'll make it fit. And, you know, so you're in for quite a treat.
All right. We're looking forward to that, of course. Then, of course, from 11 o'clock till noon, if you have not gone through the training, or if you have gone through the training and you forget all those features that we have on our website for our members to use, then please join me from 11 o'clock until noon on Thursday, and that's the training. Okay, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of features, right? So don't be embarrassed if you forget. But I do want you to use those features because they really work. So definitely come on and let me train you again. We do this every 2 weeks, and this is the week for it. And then the Women's Business Club, that's from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock. If you're a member and you're a woman, which I am not, then you can join the Women's Business Club. And that's at 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock on Thursday. Listen, all the links for these are in the weekly minutes section on the homepage. If you go to the homepage, you'll see the weekly minutes. Then right next to it, everything next to it has a link that will take you into the event. Okay. Without further ado, because I know that that Jacqy is sitting there going, "Oh, come on, man, shut the heck up." But
never.
Okay, thanks. All right, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. As some of you've seen, this week's topic is on the power of intention. And what I'm going to do today is give you 3 keys to working with the power of intention. And before we start and I get into that, I wanted to get an idea of where you're at. What does intention mean to you? And if you do, how do you work with it already? And if you don't, well, then tell me you don't. But I wanted to get a feel for where we were at this morning.
Is it like and being deliberate about achieving something? You're just being deliberate about it, right?
Yes, there is a sense of deliberate to it. Anyone else?
Like setting goals?
It's linked to setting goals. You're going to use it with goal setting.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It up levels your goals.
Oh. I saw you do that at the Women's Business Club. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to-do list is a good start, I guess, right?
A to-do list? Yes. 100%. Yes.
I feel like for me, Jacqy, that like everyone has their goals or like, things that they should do. I think when you take it to the power of intention, it's almost like you're taking it to a step up. It's almost like you're going to reach for it and you've grabbed onto that and you are like, whether you have to claw yourself through the dirt or whatever, you have an intention that you are putting it's like a whole another like level of energy that you're grabbing this thing and you're drawing it towards you. So I think that's how I describe it.
Amazing. Anyone else have some thoughts before I get into? So for me, intention really is like what Sam said. It's taking 2 things and putting them together. It's looking at where is my focus. And in anything that we want to achieve in life, we need to have laser beam focus, because I'm sure all of you can relate to, we set off on this goal and we get about 5 steps into it, and then this pops up and that pops up and this pops up, and our focus starts to get pulled in different directions. So one of the keys is having that laser beam focus, that no matter what, I am going after that thing at the end of the road, and I am going to get there no matter what shows up around me. So the second part that goes with it is the feelings of it, of actually getting into that feeling and excitement. Because if we have a goal that doesn't excite us, right, doesn't bring those feelings of once I hit that goal, I'm going to be filled with joy and happiness and have helped all of these people, then there's no point in us doing it in the first place, right? The whole idea is we want to live a life full of happiness and joy and to be thriving. And in order to do that, we need to be aligned with what actually makes us feel good. So that's why I think a lot of people start their own business, because they want to do what they love every day and make a living from it. So the first thing is understanding that intention really is this combination of focus and feeling, and looking at where is your focus. If what we focus on grows, which we know energetically is what happens, so whether we're focusing on something positive or we're focusing on something negative, the more you focus on a negative situation, the worse that situation seems to get. We get stuck in this story of, it will blow up way bigger. By the time you tell your friends, it's a whole different situation than what you started with. And the opposite is true if we're doing something positive, right? So really looking at where is my focus and what do I want? One of my favorite questions to give my clients and anyone that I talk to about this is, if we imagine that we live in a world of endless possibilities, where really we can have, be, or do anything that we want, what do we want? And for a long time, no one asked me that question. What do you actually want? And when we're in survival mode, we're often not focused on what we want. We're focused on what all these other people need in order for us to just keep the peace. So the first thing I'm going to challenge you to do, and key number one, is to get really clear and gain some clarity on what is it that you want. Where do you want your focus to be? And what are you going after? There's something about this, and I'm never going to pretend to be a science nerd. I'm not. I'm the type of person who learns things and I try them and I work on them. And if they work, I believe they work. And I know this works. If you want all the science background, I can point you in the right direction to give you that background detail. There's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system. And this is a part of our brain that we can actually program. And so the idea of sitting with your thoughts and really writing out or talking out or drawing whatever you're drawn to, doesn't matter the method, but looking at this question in a world of endless possibilities, what do I want to be, do, and have? And that would be in all aspects of your life. We're going to bring it back to business aspects today. But you can do this for every single area of your life. And that's where you start. And then you pick your top few, right? What are the ones I'm going to work on first? And that becomes what you're going to laser beam focus on. Any questions thus far?
So I do have one, of course.
Yep.
So, there are some folks who they don't want to do that because they feel like by doing that, they're going to miss out on all the other opportunities out there if they are laser focused. Can you, have you seen that happening where people just don't want to narrow themselves into that laser focused?
Yes. And they get unfocused results. So, I mean, yes, I know lots. And when I first started, I was like that too. You want me to narrow down my niche to what? Like, I can help all these people. And what you'll find though, and what I found in my experience is as I've focused my niche down, other people show up. They're still interested, right? It's, something I'll say will resonate with them. I had a friend last week who had been watching stuff. He's not my niche market, but he got an idea of what I was doing and then reached out. Right? So people will come out of the woodwork when you are putting all of your energy and focus into what it is that you want to create. Right? And so we're doing ourselves a disservice by allowing ourselves to be distracted, because the other part of this is taking it down to daily. Right? What am I doing daily to focus myself? In business, we often look at your quarterly goals, your yearly goals, right? Well, what is your goal for today? What is the mini step you're going to take today that is going to get you to that end result? And I think that's the piece of a lot of us miss, is in the morning each day going, okay, here's my day. Now, what intention am I setting for today? What do I want to bring to the world today? What connections do I want to make today? So every morning I get really clear on what do I want to have happen today? Because the moment I step into that, that's when I step into who do I need to be to make that happen? Who do I need to show up as? Right? Which part of me needs to come out in this conversation or that conversation to get me to the result that I want? I'm
just curious, how many of us actually set aside that time in the morning to actually focus on your day and figure out what you're looking to accomplish today? Okay. All right.
I am telling you, it's a game changer. Yuri?
Go ahead, Yuri.
I do it in the evening, though. I set up my to-do list in the evening.
Yes.
And then I wish I had my pen beside me and just record something that I dream of and put it down on paper, because you forget. But I got a question for Jacqy, a little bit maybe off topic, but and like in our industry and in every other industry, somebody says, can I do real estate part-time? Like, absolutely, you can do it as long as you can put in 10 hours a day into real estate.
Yeah.
You know, and you can do the other part for 8 hours, but you got to put in 10 hours for this. So my question is, I guess, is there, how do you measure how much effort you got to put in or focus you got to put in any particular, I know it's a very, what's the word? You can't measure that, right? But what effort equals success, right? That kind of stuff. And how do you determine that? If you don't know, if you're starting a new task, you don't know, right?
Yes. So the tips that I've been given on that is whatever amount of time you think the task is going to take you, double it when you first start, because it usually takes us longer. We have these grandiose ideas of I'm going to get this done in an hour, and then we hit, tech issues or this happens, right? So blocking off more time than you think. The key to that is when you accomplish it in less time than that, now we have a success, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all about how am I going to set myself up for success throughout the day? Yuri, I love the fact that you do your intention setting the night before. And my question would be, do you review it, even if it's just to look over it in the morning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, amazing. Right?
Absolutely.
To really,
that's what I was going to mention as well, Jacqy, is because in the morning, it gives you the planning of the night before gives you what you need in the morning to reevaluate how you feel.
Yes.
And sometimes I found myself where actually I thought, no, I could accomplish even more than that, or however that is, but it is sincere. And I'm pretty sure I can get all that done unless life happens, right?
Yes. Amazing. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I'm all about setting myself up for success. So I will choose what I call my 3 big rocks for that day. And then I'll still have my to-do list of other things that need to get done. And if I get past those 3 big rocks, now I'm into even more success because I got my 3 done and I got this, and this done. So that was an extra successful day, right? And if you get into the habit of when you talk about, how much time should something take or where should I be putting my intention or my focus, that's where we want to get in the habit of actually tracking what we're doing and what our results are, right? And I've found that the more attention I pay to that, right, of looking at, well, who did I talk to this week? What were my outcomes? Where did I get the most success? Wherever you're getting the success is where you want to shift your intention to. Does that make, right? So that I'm working with what works for me. Because everybody's going to be different and every industry is going to be different in terms of where you need to spend the most amount of your time. And I'm always a big fan of it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Go and work on something else. If it's working for you, great, keep doing that. If it's not, pivot. And the idea here is we're not aborting, we're just pivoting what we're doing, right? This didn't quite work. Let me see if it'll work here. Right? One of my favorite sayings is failure equals feedback. So if it didn't work the first time, what did I learn from it in order for me to be able to pivot and try something new or work on something new? He's still working on getting rid of that word try. So key number 1 is to get really, really, really clear on what you want. Key number 2 is to make a decision to commit to that intention wholeheartedly and 100%, right? It's also looking at, if this is my intention, what do I need to do in order to make that happen? Right? So if my intention for the day is to close 3 prospects, right? One of the things that I do is I actually, on my accountability for the week, I will write down which prospects I'm meant to meet with. And before I even go into the meeting, what do I expect the outcome to be? This will shift your perspective going into that meeting. So rather than going, I hope that they're going to sign up for this, or maybe they'll sign up for either one of my courses or one of my packages, I sit with myself and go, okay, what do I know about them? And what do I want to be able to serve them with? Or how do I want to be able to serve them? And I write that down. I've even gotten to the point of creating invoices up front that I can go back and delete. They're just drafts, right? But creating that up front to program into my my brain that this is where we're going. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be the outcome. Is it going to be 100% of the time? No, because we know the law of averages. And either way, it doesn't matter who I'm meeting with. I have set that intention for myself. That is my focus of that meeting. This is what I intend this outcome to be. And all of a sudden, I'm naturally in the place of having that conversation, right? So key number 2 is to decide and then to figure out what do I need to do to get there. So make that 100% commitment. Write it down. I'm just taking a look at the, yes.
So basically, you're going with the closing in mind with a winning attitude, right? Yes. So same with us. If I go for a listing appointment, I go with my listing agreement already. It's printed out. Yeah. All I have to do is manually put the price and put the date, and that's it.
Yes, right? So, 100%.
And I know that if I don't bring that listing agreement, I'm never going to sign it. Mm-hmm. If I bring it with me, I can either sign it or not, but that's a different story.
Right. You're setting yourself up for success. You're ready to go. Right. And I find like even just, it's not comfortable for me asking for money. It's one of those things that I'm getting more comfortable with. Right. So to have it already there, it's much easier for me to say, okay, and your credit card number is, because I've got a place to put it. Versus going, I'll send you the invoice and then I'm wondering what's going to happen and who knows what will happen between now and then, right? So all these little things that we can do to really set ourselves up for success.
I was just going to say something. I've always gone into talking to a potential customer that they're already my customer, just because it took the pressure off for sales. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, I had to say certain things or do certain things. It was just, you're already my client. So this is how I think we should service you so that you get the best bang for your buck and you get the best service for what you require, right?
Yeah.
But I see that kind of does me twofold. I just did it because my background is medical. There was nothing that got me prepared for selling and asking for money and stuff like that, right? So that was just how I did it, and it just seemed to work out.
Well, and I think part of that is that the person on the other end of that already feels like your client, right? So it's creating what is the feeling you want this person on the other end to have. Okay. And if it's already this idea of we have the relationship and that's how you're going into it, they're feeling that, right? If I'm all up in my head about what am I going to say next and how is this, what do I need to say in order to close them because I really want this sale, they will feel that too, the desperation or, the pushiness. And then now they're backing off. So, I mean, in communication, 7% of communication is what we say. Everything else is what we do with our facial expressions and the energy that we're putting out, right? So we were talking about this last week, and I think Adam mentioned something about it in terms of, just allowing if you're talking from your heart space or with good intention, just allowing what needs to flow and trust that you will say the right thing if your intention is in the right place.
I really like that. I don't remember who said it, but where it's like, oh, Catherine, where you go in there as if they're already your customer, right? Because you're right. The feeling is different. It's more, you feel less salesy. It's more flowing. It's nicer, right? So it's brilliant.
And the intention is to build relationship, right? To foster that connection versus I want your money. Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of us, especially when you're first starting out or you have a dip, we have this, we'll dip back into that. And I've done that. And I also know that in those times that I've been in that place, and that's where my focus was, no money came because my focus was on having no money. Right? When I shifted the focus, suddenly things start showing up that I didn't even think were going to show up. Right. So key number 3 is we can spend all of this time thinking about all these things, and I can go write down my action plan, and I can sit every morning and get myself into a heart space and set my intentions for the day. And if I do nothing but sit on the couch and eat bonbons, nothing will happen. So key number 3 with your intention setting is you have to bring them alive. You've got to take action, right? And it doesn't matter how big the action step is, and you've got to be moving in some direction toward that, right? Now, here's the clincher. Energetic law says your intentions, right, and your goals and whatever, and I'm sure you've all experienced this, they will be tested up to 3 times. How badly do you really want it, right? So it's like you sign up for a course, what you're really excited, you're going to up level some of your business skills, and then suddenly your kids are sick, your husband needs something, you know, something's gone, and it's trying to take your attention away. It's trying to distract you, right? And I think the key with this is knowing it's going to happen. So when it shows up, you can go, oh, this is one of those tests. All I need to do is take a nice deep breath and figure out how can I move through this and get these guys what they need, and I can still get what I need, right? Because there's often a solution. And if we get all wrapped up in, oh no, now I have to do this, and completely shift our focus, right? Now we've veered off track, and we're going to have to start again by bringing ourselves back, right? So recognizing that these little things are just tests, they're nothing major, right? And the moment we acknowledge it, it's like the monster in the closet, right? The moment you turn the light on it and realize it's just a broom, now it's manageable. I can work through it, right? So those are the 3 keys that I have for you today, which is 1, get really clear. And in a minute, I'm going to put the magic question in the box if you want to play with that. And I strongly encourage you to play with that, because you will be shocked at what sort of things will come out for you that you want, that you didn't even know you wanted. So to get really clear on how you want to feel and what you want your focus to be. Number 2, decide, commit to it 100% that you are going after this thing. And 3, take action. Get moving in the direction that you want to go. Does anyone have any questions? Or I'd actually be interested to hear also where in your business maybe is your intention or focus not in the right place, where, you know, what sort of light bulbs have gone off for you as to, oh, I might need to revisit this and reshift my focus here. Catherine?
Okay, I can answer both those. I have 2 sides of my business. I have where I actually teach first aid and directly to the clients and customers. And then I have a second side where I'm got other instructors that are building their business. And so I'm always looking to make more and better materials for them to make everybody's courses better. And I'm not sure which side to pick, because one is immediate money, right? And the other one is more long-term. It's after the relationships are built and help them build their business while I see any income. So it's kind of like juggling those 2, right? So I have to get really clear about that. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you were talking about reevaluating your goal or your intention, I'm sorry, and you said if you have to pivot, is that like a weekly or is that a daily check, or what do you recommend?
It's really up to you. It's about finding your flow. How often do you want to check in with yourself and where you're at? I will often do it daily, but it'll just be like a mini check-in, right? When I'm looking at my goals for the day. Sometimes I do it on a weekly. So my intention is usually to leave my Mondays open so that I can have creation days on Monday. And recently I have found I've broken a few boundaries in my business, and I currently have 4 things scheduled this afternoon, which does not make my heart happy. That being said, I will get myself into the right place so that I can serve those people, because I made that commitment. And going forward, I am now blocking off the calendar so nobody can book in, right? And really looking at, so my pivot there was to actually go to my calendar and say, no, this is me time. And this is what I intend to do in this time. And using your calendar that way can also really help with your intentions. Most of the time that I pivot is when something went off, right? So I wasn't getting the results I needed. Maybe I've been doing marketing and I'm looking at my marketing going, okay, this hasn't brought the results that I want. I gave it the 6 weeks that I said I was going to give, which was a reasonable time. This isn't working. It's time to pivot something. So let's look at what were our highest, the stats you get on social media, right? Highest views, highest engagement, and start making more like that, right? Or for me, it was, it's time to get someone to help you with this. Stop doing it alone, right? So that was my pivot last week, as I finally went, and I'm going to work with Lindsay this week, right? Like, let's actually get some feedback on this. I've been doing okay on my own, and I probably could do better with the guidance of someone who actually knows what they're doing, right? So that's something too, is when is it time to reach out for help? And is your intention to do everything yourself? Or is your intention to be able to reach out and use other people's expertise where needed?
Gotcha.
Does that help and answer your question?
A lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing.
The other thing I think is really cool is don't stop on a sale, right? Because now you're on a high, right? Keep going. That's the only thing I would push for. Yes. Is just don't stop on a sale.
So every night before I go to bed, I literally reflect on my day and I write out all of my successes, right? And this is personal or business, because you want to have a balance of both, right? So if I get out walking, I did my exercise that day, that's a success for me. And realizing that some days I write down 3 things, and I think the longest list I've had has been 14 things. And again, it's programming your mind to seek that success, right? I'm okay on days that I only write down 3 things. And I want those days where I'm writing down 10 plus things. So again, it's that programming. What am I seeking out? What is my intention? My intention is to fill this book with all of my successes. The other great thing about it is when you get yourself into a rut, you have something to go back on and cheer yourself up. Because look at what I did, right? I did all of these things, and remind yourself how fabulous you are. Anyone else? Ivan's much better at picking on people than I am.
I can go. Sometimes I set up those tasks, and sometimes I set up the task that I don't like, which is like a cold calling and stuff. And I teach my daughter, if you don't like doing something or you hate doing something, ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, right? Mm-hmm. And I ask myself that all the time. And I know the worst that can happen. I just, they say no, right? Or they tell you to F off, pardon my French. That's probably the worst thing. And, but how do you, I know, I'm comfortable, more or less comfortable with that. Yeah, I know it's the inevitable. You got to go through 100 people to get 1 or 2 or 3. Is there any other tricks to overcome that for newer people, like when you're starting out? Because I'm hiring agents, and they're gonna have to go through that program in a sense, right? And is there an easy way to overcome that kind of task? Or
well, I think it's really looking at where their mindset is when they start. So yes, what's the worst that could happen? I'm going to go no. Like, the world's not going to end. This is a good place to be. What's the best thing that could happen? If ask that and then flip it. What is the best thing that could happen if I make these 100 calls today? I may walk away with 10 appointments, right? And then turn it into a game, right? Get them celebrating every no, because with every no means I'm one step closer to a yes. Yeah. If I know, like the number game, I have to talk to 10 people to get 1 yes. Then start counting those no's. How many no's have I gotten to? How much closer am I to the yes?
Right. Sheila, you had your hand up?
And that's what I was going to say. Celebrate the no's. It becomes a lot easier to get a game.
Well,
I literally have a little, that check mark or the little hash and, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If I go through 10 and I say, oh, it's a no problem. Great. I'm one closer to a yes, right? So.
It's easier said than done, right? Because if I, especially like I think I mentioned it before, if you get the yes on the first two times, you're motivated and you go, and then I can go through 50 no's, no problem, because I already got a yes behind me, right? And but when you get no, you get to 98, it's like, oh shoot, is that going to be yes, or is that going to be no? And I'm going to go through to another batch of 100, and is it going to be, because I have an assistant that she's calling and 3 days, and she may not get a yes, and that's frustrating as heck, because I'm judging her performance, right?
Mm-hmm. The other thing I would suggest is there a mantra or affirmation or some sort of positive statement that you could give them that they could read back to themselves in between each call to sort of pump themselves up again between each call? Because sometimes even getting up and jumping on the spot or doing something to pump yourself up helps to get the mind back into the right place. So shake off the no, and then
if you make 100 calls, if you make 98 calls and you're getting no's the whole time, I would reevaluate the script. Neil, you're going to say something?
Yeah. So maybe you want to sit down with your assistant and find out how they're doing it. Maybe I don't know if you've done a role play with regards to calls, but also let them know. I mean, if they're brand new to cold calling, it's hard on them because, we take no's personally in sales, right? Yeah. So, and that's one thing you have to get them to understand is that don't take the no person. They're not saying no to you. They don't even know you. They're saying no to the proposal or to the idea of whatever it is you're asking them about. So, if their average is, 10 people out of 10 appointments out of 300, then just tell them play the averages. And then as they get better at the script and they get better, more comfortable with it, their average will go up. Yeah, right. I mean, you just have to do it.
Sometimes they're just saying no to the intrusion. That's it.
They're not saying no to you personally. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Right. No, and I have those conversations for sure. Mm-hmm. We did role playing. We did. I got my couple of buddies actually to call and see how they're doing, and that kind of stuff. And they were fine. I mean, of course, not everybody as quick on a response or changing. Some people don't hear. They're listening, but they don't hear for the cues and everything else. I know, like Ivan and lots of people, they're have perked up their ear, like, oh, yep, I heard that word, right? It's
but that takes time, though.
I don't know. It's just I think it's a given. I've had that ability all day, all the time. It's just you have to listen. You have to understand what people. And they may say that they're. So I don't know, something way off, and you kind of link it to something else that you can use, right?
Sure. Well, I mean that maybe that assistant needs more practice. Maybe they just need more time. But sometimes you also have to look at, well, are they doing the job that you really expect? That's a hard pill to swallow. I'm just telling you the reality of it.
I know. No, it's just like, on one day she has 5 appointments, and then one day she has 8 appointments, and then 3 days nothing. And
but that's all right.
We can't. Yeah, I know, but we can't control. That's what I'm telling them. We can't control other people. We can't control their mood. We can't control the weather. We can't control anything. It just whatever happens that day, that happens. But next day you call them again, and they go, "Who are you?" "Oh yeah, I'm interested." Right. Because they don't know you from Adam. They don't know it's the same person called, right?
That's right. No. Jacqy, what was that thing that you posted there?
That's the question for getting clarity.
Okay.
So in a world full of endless possibilities, what do I want to do, be, and have? And looking at those, because it's, who do I need to be in order to show up and do in order to have the things I want?
Right.
So, and like I said, I suggest everyone do it, not just in business. It's a great tool for business and for life in general. And if you really sit with it for a while, you will be surprised at what comes up for you that you didn't realize was even something you wanted.
And, Jacqy, I know that you do this. I know that we have one or two other members that do this type of thing as well, but we might want to set up a workshop one day of folks that kind of need some workshopping on this to actually
100%
down to help them to achieve goals, right? I mean, how many people could use a little bit of 2022 goal setting? Right. Okay. So then what we should do is we should actually start thinking about that, Jacqy and Adam and stuff. Adam, and just, make it work for the new year, especially the new year, huh? All those New Year's resolutions of being more efficient in business.
We do it before the new year.
Okay. All right. So we'll have to talk about that. Okay. We'll have to pull a meeting together. Neil, and then we have to get to the next step of the process, which is our networking.
I just want to say one thing really quickly about, I joined the conversation probably maybe 10 minutes in, but I heard someone talk about a to-do list, and I heard Jacqy talk about, what you're going to do about that to-do list. So one of the things that, I realized not long ago was that, okay, I have my to-do list. It's my task list in Gmail because I'm looking at my email all day long. Guess what? It's right next to my email. So I'm seeing it all the day long. But when I get up in the morning, and I look at this list, I don't look at the whole list and say, geez, this is a huge long list. Like this, what am I going to do? I've come to realize that life is we live life in a series of moments. So you don't think about the task and how long it's going to take or what you need to do. Think about what you're going to do in this moment on that task.
Right.
So I have an appointment today to look at build my logo, right? For my business. Well, guess what? Yesterday, I looked at the list and it said, okay, figure out your logo, design your logo. So I contacted the designer and I set up an appointment. That's what I did in the moment. So now I'm one step closer to designing the logo. This afternoon, I have the appointment. I'm going to have the call. That's another step towards the logo. Once I've talked to them and they've built the logo, now I have the logo. I can throw it up on my website. Guess what? That's about 3 or 4 steps, right? Mm-hmm. But it started with the moment. One moment of thinking, okay, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does that make it easy for anybody?
It's one moment of thinking about it. And then, as Jacqy said, and then doing it, right?
Well, you have to act in the moment. That's all you have.
Oh, I see. Acting right in the moment. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we live in a series of moments. That's all we have. We don't have a past that we can do anything about. And we can't worry about the future because it hasn't yet happened. So you have one moment, this moment. And you act in that moment. What you do in that moment determines the next moment.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm going to piggyback off that. If you're experiencing one of those times where you're not actively doing anything in the moment, right, or you're having a hard time getting yourself started or motivated, one of the tricks I was taught was to ask yourself, what's one small thing that I can do right now that I can accomplish? And it may be, I'm just going to go do those 2 or 3 dishes in the sink. It doesn't have to be related to the big thing you're attempting to do. Mm. And the moment you do something and you're successful at it, your brain wants more of that. So then it's what's one other small thing I can do right now to move me forward. Right? Rather than looking at, because sometimes our goals, like Catherine was talking about, you've got these long-term goals, right? I can't get to that long-term goal but like in an instant, right, or in a moment. It is going to be a series of moments. So what can I do? What's one small thing I can do right now that's going to move me closer to where I want to be?
Right, absolutely. One thing we want to get to get us where we want to be, which is wrapping up on time, is to get through the. But listen, and I'm going to say thank you again to Jacqy after we go through the whole networking thing. But definitely, this was really good. So I totally appreciate this discussion on the power of intention. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to go around the room. I just want everybody to give us a 45-second. I know we're sometimes tempted to go a little longer, but Yuri, only kidding. I'm not picking on you, Yuri. 45 seconds, and then just 45 seconds, and then just tell us if you have an incentive on right now, an incentive on right now that you're offering to people. Tell us what that incentive is as well. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with Lindsay.
I'm ready.
No, Yuri, me.
I'm just teaching you patience.
I don't have an incentive, but anybody who is a Discreet City member, specifically a member, yeah, I only charge $30 an hour for consultations instead of my regular fee of not that. So, so if you want to, my minimum is 3 hours for the first one, and then every session after that can be as short or as long as you want.
Awesome. Lindsay, why don't you just tell us what you do?
No.
Tell us.
My name is, I run Fearless Designs, and I do social media advertising, specifically to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me see who, maybe Yuri. And you're on mute.
Hey, I know. And I'm not ready. My name is Yuri Nesbitt. I'm with eXp Realty, and I do creative work in real estate. We capitalize on social media to sell your property for more money with the shorter time. The same thing for the buyers. We have a creative strategy on how to buy the properties in this crazy market. As far as the offer, I'll offer my expertise. You put the number to it.
Awesome. Okay. Good to know. Okay. I'm going to pick on Sita, if you're there.
Sorry, I am here. Let me just put my... Good morning, everybody. I'm Sita. And essentially, I'm just in the decluttering and organizing field of business. So essentially what I do, I love helping people just bring order and beauty to their space. So that's essentially my passion. Thank you. Incentives. Kind of like Lindsay, I can't think of one just now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm seeding you for the next time so that next time you'll have one.
Yeah.
All right, Linda.
Good morning, everybody. I do cognitive behavioral therapy, and anybody who's a Great City member, I offer 20% off your sessions, which is pretty big.
Yep.
It's a huge discount. Cognitive behavioral therapy works with anybody who has mental health issues. It's a very powerful way to do your therapy as opposed to medications or anybody who doesn't want to do that route.
Nice. Good. All right. Thomas, you're right next to Linda on my screen. Go ahead.
Morning, everybody. Thomas from Greater Southwestern Group. We provide managed IT services, security cameras and monitoring, as well as business phone systems. Our incentive is for the rest of the year, we are providing a no-cost technical assessment, allowing businesses to get a snapshot of where they're at and allowing them to figure out where they want to go as far as their technology. A little bit of a side note, it is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Take a moment to, it would be, even with this assessment, it'd be a good idea to maybe reevaluate your cybersecurity solutions and see what we can improve there. But what you can do quickly is take the moment to maybe change your passwords, have them be long and unique to reduce the chance of any type of security breaches. So again, I will put my information. I'm thinking Catherine is trying to hide something from me. At least it feels good that I'm not the one who's actually hiding my face in shame this time. I actually feel that it's a change of pace. So, but I'll put my information in the chat, and please feel free if anybody has any questions to reach out. And I look forward to keeping in touch with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Okay, Catherine.
It's a good thing I've already signed that contract with Thomas because he doesn't like those passwords. But anyway, and it's funny. It's also cardiac arrest month too. Just saying, Thomas. Okay.
Well, what do you think? You don't think cybersecurity and cardiac, it all goes hand in hand?
They are parallel universes.
Breach, you end up with a heart attack. Come on. I mean, that's how it works, right? So.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Catherine. I am the Stony Creek city leader with this great city, which means I work hand in hand with Ivan. We're just amazing to see all of you here. And if you're not a citizen already, make sure that you are and you're telling your family and friends about it. And if you're not a member, take advantage. We have so many new members that have recognized the power of the network, right? There's like 20 people and a couple have popped off. So this is pretty flippin' amazing. In my other life, I'm also the owner of the Life's Emergency Training, which is an on-site and blended first aid CPR and defibrillation company. We've been helping train people since 2006 in Ontario. So give us a call and see how we can help you and your family or staff. And we offer 15% on any of our online courses. 50%.
Awesome. Awesome. I always ask myself, if something ever happened to anybody in my office, do I know enough to be able to save their life? Right.
Good thing I'm in the same office. So.
Thank the Lord you're here. Yes, absolutely.
What if it's me?
I'll have to quickly pull up the video. Okay, Jennifer, you're up.
Hi, I'm glad to have been able to join another time. I chatted with Jacqy last week and she reminded me. She's like, you got to come back. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I work with entrepreneurs who are tired of following cookie cutter business strategies and want to know exactly what they can do for their business to get more clients and do it on their own terms in a way that feels good. Because why do business for yourself if it doesn't feel good? The only promotion I have going right now is I'm offering 6 45-minute sessions as like a mini package. One-on-one calls to design your custom strategy and business plan for 2022. And it's $497 for the 6 calls.
Wow. Okay.
Really good.
I can sense a stampede kind of growing on that one.
Bring it on. I got you. Bring it on.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Sonal, our newest member, everybody. Sonal Patel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was about to say that to the group that I joined the group recently, but then you introduced me. So thank you. Hi, this is Sonal Patel. I live in Brampton, Ontario, and I recently joined the group. I'm the business partner with the Panda InfoSoft. You might have seen that Panda logo. I'm not sure, but yeah, we have Panda. So we provide like 4 kind of services, but the 2 of them are related. Like really, we wanted to expand in the Canada is the Tech Panda and the FNA Panda. FNA Panda is like finance and accounting services. So we have many clients in the like retail and pharmacist. We provide them finance and accounting services. The Tech Panda, under that service, we do web development and the app development. So the web development side, we do web development, SEO, social media marketing. And for the app development side, we take the projects from the IT companies. We do mobile application, desktop application. So, and we were not knowing about any, what did you say? We didn't decide any incentive yet, but we will do soon.
Okay. All right. The incentive is coming soon. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And folks, just so you know that I think Sonal will be the first person who does accounting with us. Okay. So all those folks, I know everyone has their accounting all organized. I know you don't need those services, but if it turns out that you do at some point, then definitely at least brainstorm with Sonal. Okay. All right. Okay, Frida.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Frida, you're up.
Okay, my name is Frida Schellingerhout. I am an independent business broker with ACN. I'm also a consultant and a house cleaner. So kind of a mixture of a whole bunch of things. So I help businesses and individuals improve their bottom line by saving them money on their fixed costs. My incentive is a free camera, either indoor or outdoor camera with our security services, or a free router, or $30 towards a better router if you're getting your internet services through me. So those are my incentives.
Thank you very, very much, Frida.
Welcome.
And good seeing you.
Nice to see you guys again too.
How's the weather in Brantford? Is it like Hamilton?
Paris is a little drizzly today. Yes.
Oh, yes, you're in Paris.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Okay, Maggie, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm a freelance writer. We all need content, but not everyone wants to do their own. So that's where I can help you out. I can do a social media post, blog post, full article, something for your newsletter, website. Travel is actually my real specialty, and I'm looking forward to getting back to that. I've already started a little bit, but I can write for almost any industry. I'm also working on some screenplays and a couple novels. Basically I'm a writer. My incentive is for any member of this great city. I'll reduce the price by 10% of whatever your price is, 10% off.
Absolutely awesome. And folks, you all know, we can always write for other people, but it's hard to write for our own businesses. So when you find yourself with that block, call Maggie. Okay. All right. Sheila, you're up.
Good morning. I'm a shopping annuity advisor, and that means I help people or families just work their lives so that they can actually capitalize on the spendings that they do. So if you think back to how much you spent in the last week, last month, or last year, or many, many, many years, if you're as old as I am, you're sort of grumbling about how much you've had to spend. But for me, I'm able to actually capitalize that and help others capitalize back on the amount that you're going to spend. So imagine how much you're going to spend next week, next month, and next year, right? Would you like to be able to get back onto track by having your expenses become an earning? So, my offer, I guess, still stands, is one of the parts that I major in a sense, right, is finance within the umbrella company that I work with. And I like to try and work with people to get ahead financially, not just by making or, getting a little bit more. If you would like to try and see about whether this debt elimination program works for you, please let me know, and I'll give you a free analysis and see if it will work for you, because it's working for me. So.
Awesome. And folks, I don't know if you read the news, but it seems like things are getting more expensive out there. So it's nice that you can get a little piece of that back. If you're even a little remotely interested in that, so that you can save up to buy that house that Yuri has for you, then definitely give Sheila a call. Adam.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am a transformative holistic health coach. So I help busy professionals and entrepreneurs look, feel, and perform at their best while not having to spend countless hours at the gym. So my focus, no problem, Ivan. And my focus and my specialty is in weight loss. So I used a multifaceted approach to all of this, none of these weight loss fads and diets and all that kind of stuff. It's really a holistic approach, which is, in my strong opinion, what's necessary to have sustained results. So right now, I'm doing free consultations for anybody that's looking to make a change in terms of their health and shape. And I will give anybody that's from this great city 10% off my fee.
Awesome. And just so you know, Adam happens to be another one that's one of our newer members. And he has some, I think we're doing a workshop or two between now and the middle of January, because, nothing says New Year's resolution like a weight loss plan, right? So anyway, so definitely keep your eye on the calendar, because he does have a presentation coming up. Sam.
Hi, everyone. My name's Sam Telebracci. I'm an IT service provider, and I usually work around Southern Ontario. I'm located in Waterloo. I can pretty much do anything tech-wise, but I'm really trying to focus myself post-COVID on security. And so, yeah, if you know anyone who's looking for home security or security for their business, that's kind of what I'm trying to focus myself in. I also build robots, and I do dabble in real estate and investing also.
Awesome. Any incentives, Sam?
Honestly, sky's the limit. I mean, if I'm terrible at sales and finding customers, so if you guys are good at that, I mean, I could offer up to like 5-10% on the jobs, and some of the jobs are like 30K jobs, so it actually does add up to be quite a bit. Yeah, honestly, I'm just happy to kind of, work with people and do stuff. And I think security is important. I think that like just offering that like safety to people, a lot of my friends have been broken into lately. I think as the economy worsens that, kind of can become a little bit dangerous out there. So I just kind of want to protect, neighborhoods and stuff like that.
All right. Absolutely. I saw The Purge. Okay, Peter.
Well, I run integrated productivity tools. What I do is mostly I work with people who already have a website and have reached the limit of what they feel comfortable doing for themselves. So often the trigger is they want to add an e-commerce component to it, but it can be something else. So if you have an existing website running a WordPress platform and want some new feature on it that you just can't get a handle on, you can contact me and I'd be glad to see if I'm the right person to get that working for you. And in terms of incentives, I'm offering what I'm calling my e-commerce starter package, which is basically if you need to get online to start selling stuff and you don't know how to go about doing it, for a fixed price, I'll get you up and running with the basics, and you'll have something that can grow with your business.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is Teresa up? Not up like awake. Obviously, Teresa, you there? In 3, 2, 1. Okay. How about Christiane? And neither. Really fascinating. All right. Okay. So, folks, I do want to mention two things. First, if you haven't already, please put your contact information into the chat window. All right. So that everybody else here can grab your information and reach out to you, because you just told them exactly what your incentives are. And I'm sure that they'd love to reach out to you. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you're located in Hamilton or around Hamilton, or if you drive through Hamilton from time to time, I want you to know about Emerald Coffee Company, which happens to be the sponsor of this morning coffee call. Emerald Coffee Company offers 15% off, and they are an amazing cafe. If you want to try something new, definitely check out Emerald Coffee Company on Barton Street here in Hamilton. All right, and I'd like to thank Jacqy. I'm going to give Jacqy the last word on her, so she can tell us exactly what she does and what her amazing incentive is going forward.
You didn't give me the heads up on the incentive part.
Okay. I was just laser focused on it. I just,
right. Hi, everyone. I am a mindset and results coach and transformational trainer. I work with people either one-on-one or in a training capacity to give them the skills, tools to move themselves into results and live a successful life. I will offer 10% off any of my one-on-one programs or trainings. And if you want to come with a friend, you'll each get 15% off. The more friends you bring, the more you save. I am a big believer in doing these things with people who are already in your life, because you're able to support one another in the transformation afterwards. I don't know how many of you have attended trainings where you walked out thinking life is going to be great and different and all of this, and then after a week or two, you've stopped using the tools you learned. So if you've got that accountability buddy built into it, it's more likely to be sustainable. So that is my on-the-spot offer this morning.
Fantastic. Well done, by the way, I have to say. And you know, folks, we are, you know, this network has grown quite a bit this year, you know, thanks to COVID kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's gone because you never know, right? You never know. However, I think people are feeling a lot more optimistic about what's going on. Yeah, exactly. Crossing our fingers, right? But heading into the new year, you know, as the network grows, I mean, we all, the folks that have been, you know, members here for a long time, you know, Yuri, Meg, et cetera, you've seen the growth, and it's nice when we have new people that are here. So our incentive up until December 31st is any person who signs on for a business membership, they will be upgraded to the Exhilarator membership, you know, for the first year anyway. So they can definitely refer your friends, because it's, I think we've got a really great energy here. I love what's happening. I love the involvement. Like, you know, it's really amazing when you have members that want to get involved, and they want to teach, they want to educate, they want to, what was the term last week? Lindsay, it was, I think I wrote it down. Oh yeah. Accountability partners, right? You can see people wanting to help each other to be accountable. And I love that. So definitely refer business people to this great city, and also refer people that are not business folks to be citizens. Citizenship is free. They just need to go to the site and sign up for it. But we have some pretty ambitious goals for the new year. So the more, the merrier. I mean, it's nice, isn't it? When it's the more, the merrier, right? So definitely we appreciate that. All right.
So can I just add something? I was going to mention it earlier, how Jacqy was talking about pre-planning 2022 now, as opposed to, you know, January 2022. And that's something we addressed in the Women's Business Club. So again, for Sonal and anybody else that's new to the system, that's what we were discussing last week, is getting our strategic planning, which Jacqy, you know, has told us how to kind of integrate that with our intentions.
Yes.
And having accountability. That was one of our big things, was having a buddy that we could go, okay, what'd you do today or this week or whatever you guys agree upon, right? And so there's another huge benefit to this great city. It's at no extra cost. You do have to be a female, though.
Right. Yeah. To be in the Women's Business Club, it helps.
Ivan's tried, believe me. Won't let him in.
I know. For those of us who remember Flip Wilson, yeah, you know. Anyway, all right, folks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming out. If you're sticking around for the lounge, that's great. I'm going to leave the information in the chat window, of course, so you can scrape it. But thank you for joining me today, and thank you, Jacqy, for doing the presentation.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
My pleasure. I'm very grateful for